In a US-led effort, manufacturers are gradually severing business ties with China. Among the reasons are the need to diversify production, rising costs, and concerns about the impact of political and trade disputes between major powers. However, it seems that moving away from China is more complicated than expected. Join me as we explore the reasons. Let's begin. At the recent Computex fair in Taipei, from power tool manufacturers to producers of electronic equipment for vehicles, and in a series of interviews with Bloomberg, everyone agreed on the same thing: they are moving their operations out of China and into various destinations, such as Southeast Asia or Mexico. One of the main reasons is pressure from large international clients. New investments are focused on Thailand, Vietnam, and Taiwan. But the difficulty lies in the fact that while the first phase of migration, such as the assembly of final products, is relatively simple, the subsequent detachment is much more problematic. The assembly of final products is straightforward and requires low-skilled labor and simple equipment. Currently, Mexico leads as the largest source of imports to the US and is also one of the main destinations for new factories for semi-finished products and final packaging. Meanwhile, India, Vietnam, and Thailand are gaining ground against China. However, most of the added value and hard work is done long before final production. Processes such as plastic and metal molding depend on networks of nearby suppliers. China has accumulated enormous capacity and expertise in chemicals, a crucial component in all industries. With more than 40% of global chemical production, its influence is immense. For example, it has 55% of the production capacity for acetic acid, an essential chemical for manufacturing plastics, rubber, and textiles, as well as 45% of the world's titanium oxide, used in the manufacture and processing of paints. This clustering effect in China creates an efficiency that is difficult to replicate elsewhere. That's why many plastic and metal manufacturers are reluctant to move their operations out of China. Exhibitors at Computex told Bloomberg that, although they are expanding in Southeast Asia, their suppliers of chemicals, plastics, and metals are not very interested in following the same path, or at least not at the same pace. Despite incentives such as free land and tax exemptions, there is a natural limit to how much of the supply chain can be taken out of China. Moreover, the current global economic environment doesn't help. The recent slowdown in the materials sector and the increased availability of transport capacity reduced the need to move all parts of manufacturing. For example, a toy manufacturer can move final assembly and packaging out of China in a highly automated process, but there will be other areas of prior production such as paint treatment, plastic processing, or the production of electronic circuits that are very expensive to move out, both due to the highly costly machinery and the need for professional and trained personnel to operate them. Additionally, suppliers of essential raw materials will remain in China, so transit times slow down production and create new problems to solve. Therefore, we can conclude that moving an entire supply chain is expensive and complicated. Manufacturers and suppliers will need massive incentives and customers willing to pay more. But time is of the essence. An unthinkable shock, such as a war or political unrest, could force an abrupt change. And when that happens, it will be too late. Diversification of both supply chains and production is therefore a gigantic and extremely costly challenge, but if it is to be done, it is better to do it in times of peace. If you liked or found the video useful, give it a like, or if you prefer, subscribe. We upload videos weekly.